So, Bobby, everybody's talking about Wayne Rooney on this Monday, but are they talking about Luciano Acosta? Probably not. Welcome to Instant Replay presented by Cheez-It. Week 24 controversial calls right here, and we've got a marathon show for you. We start where else but Audi Field. Bobby, I'm hitting the fast forward button all the way to the 95th minute with a promise that we'll come back and look at a couple other controversial plays. This is the game winner, and it starts with a DC United corner kick. The goalkeeper is up, so the net is empty, and the ball is cleared, and there goes Will Johnson. He's got an open field in front of him, only he doesn't take into account Wayne Rooney. Look at this challenge. What a challenge it is, but is it a foul?
First of all, I hate us for questioning this play, even though it needs to be done, and no, that was not a foul on Rooney.
Agreed. Now, here comes the diagonal ball from Rooney. Is Luciano Acosta offside?
I hate talking about this one because as a player, I want every tiny little margin to be called. But as a neutral who watched this game live and took it in, look, we can't be absolutely sure. And if we can't be absolutely sure, I want the play to continue. I want the tie to go to the attacker. So I am glad that the goal stood.
VAR Jorge Gonzalez definitely checked this one, but the goal stood, and I agree with your take on that one. Let's go back to the 53rd minute. Christian Higuita and Yamil Asad come together, down goes Asad, the ball goes out of play and nothing is called. But then Jose Carlos Rivero goes to the screen, checks out the review, and he says, oh yes, that is violent conduct and a red card. Do you agree?
This is the kind of play that video review makes hard to discuss, because if the red card had been given live, we'd say, yeah, I get it, elbow to the head, that's red card worthy. But once the red card isn't given and it goes to video review, Andrew, can you say that's clear and obvious that Higuita intentionally meant to hit him, that it's violent conduct? I would say no.
And I agree. I don't think this is deliberate. I don't think Higuita looks at him. I think he's just trying to swim over the top, and there happens to be contact there. Now, I do understand how those on the other side of this would say, yes, clear violent conduct. That's the hard part of the elbow. It's the head. I get it. I just don't agree.
All right, but there's one more play to discuss. We go to the 64th minute, and this Luciano Acosta goal makes it 2-1 DC. But, Andrew, the flag was up, and the referee blew the whistle, except after the ball went in the goal. Therefore, it can be reviewed.
And it was, and the review reversed the call. They said it was onside, and I agree. I think Acosta's torso and head look even with the final defender, making this a good goal.
Okay, but that wasn't it on this play. Look, as Acosta goes to finish, here comes goalkeeper Joe Bendik, and Bendik's knee goes into Acosta's head after the ball goes into a net. And there were shouts that Bendik should be sent off, which I understand. Bendik comes in hard, and his knee is high. But for me, when I watch this, it's a goalkeeper making himself big, and contact happens in soccer, so I'm glad a red card wasn't given.
I think he endangers the safety of the opponent. I think that was a red card. Sunday, so many calls to review when we go to Toronto, New York City FC. It's the 8th minute, and Josie Altidore and Alexander Cayens are getting into it on the sideline, and oh, what was that? Yeah, that was a kick, and Josie sees red for that one.
Oh, Josie, I feel for the emotional roller coaster you've had over the last 2 years, but you can't do that, man. You left the referee with no decision, the correct red card on that one.
Chico Grajeda goes red, and I think that is correct, but should he have gone red in the 54th minute? Maxi Morales definitely kicks out at Marky Delgado right here, and for me, that's violent conduct as well, and he should have been sent off. Like Josie, Morales is upset about a play before, but that's no excuse. He goes straight-legged and kicks out at Marky Delgado. For me, that's violent conduct, send him off.
I'm with you, Andrew. It's subtle, so I don't blame a referee for missing it, but when you look at the replay, there's no decision to be made but red card. But let's move to Seattle and start in the 54th minute. The score is 1-1, and Maxi Urruti picks up the ball in the box, and here he goes, and in comes Ozzy Alonso with the tackle. Did Alonso get the ball? Did he get Urruti? And should that have been a penalty kick?
Well, he didn't get the ball. He did get Urruti with this. A little bit of contact, but Ted Uncle says, not a PK, and I have to agree there. If he called it an open play, okay, I don't think there's grounds to reverse it because there was contact. But since he doesn't, it's not a clear and obvious error. That contact is minimal. It's certainly not as bad as Urruti makes it seem, and the ball's running out of bounds. So for me, a judgment call. My judgment is no PK. Good call by Uncle. Dallas will be upset about that no call because that could have made it 2-1, and in the 91st minute it is 2-1. Only Seattle are up, and Rito Ziegler and Rui Diaz get into it. Now, Ziegler clearly deserves this red card for violent conduct. He basically karate chops the Peruvian in the back of the head. But what nobody's really talking about is that Raul Rui Diaz should have seen red because that is a headbutt, man.
First of all, I want you to show me where karate chops are in the laws of the game. I don't see him anywhere. Second, you're right. Rui Diaz does put his head back into Ziegler's head, and Rui Diaz should have been sent off as well.
To me, that's deliberate and violent conduct, but it wasn't called. We'll see what happens there, and we'll take it all the way back to Saturday for Columbus, Houston. Once again, I hit the fast forward button to second half stoppage time, and here is the game-winning goal for Crew SC. Giassi Zardes poking it in, but you clearly notice there that Patrick Mullins is in an offside position on the cross. He doesn't touch the ball, and of course this is checked by VAR Kevin Terry Jr. But it doesn't lead to a video review, and the goal stands.
Now, Andrew, if I am a Houston player, I am absolutely irate that the offside was not called, because it appears that Patrick Mullins, who, as you said, was in an offside position, did make a play for the ball. But once we back up and actually look at the laws of the game, Mullins did not, A, play the ball, or B, really impact any of the Houston defenders or the goalkeeper's action. When you take those into account, then not raising the flag was the right call.
Now, you might be raising your eyebrow there, but take a closer look. Jared Watts tries to pull the offside trap before the cross is even played, so he's out of the picture. The goalkeeper, he's not affected by this either, and Adolfo Machado should have just kept tracking his runner because Zardes was onside. In the end, it looks controversial, but I'm with you. This stands, it should be onside, and it was.
You mentioned Zardes there, but we have to hit the rewind button once again because we go to the 63rd minute. Giassi Zardes is on a yellow card when he goes down in the box, and this sure looks a lot like a dive.
Yeah, that is a dive. It's simulation, but he didn't ask for it, and I think he knows why, because he's on a yellow card. His saving grace is that there is a little bit of contact here, so I think it would have been harsh to go back and give him that yellow.
Does it matter if you ask for it? I'm pretty sure you just made that up. Andrew, when I see this, I think Zardes is awfully, awfully lucky.
Speaking of minor contact, we go to Colorado where the Rapids were hosting San Jose. Referee Alan Kelly had a decision to make in the 57th minute. Courtney Ford dives in on Guram Kasia and the PK is given, but I don't agree. Yes, there is a little bit of contact here by Ford on Kasia's heel, but look, that reaction is theatrical, and it's definitely not to bring him down. Watching the replays from afar, not a PK in my opinion.
When I watched it live and I originally watched the replay, I also thought it was soft. But Andrew, if we pause it here, look at the way Kasia's ankle turns. I only think an ankle would turn that way if contact forces it to. So when I look at that, it's a tiny little detail. It makes me think that the PK was the right call.
I'm guessing we both agree on this 87th minute red card to Shea Salinas. Dylan Cerna definitely deserved the yellow he got for pulling him back here. But what is Salinas doing? He is throwing the elbow up into the face. That's a clear red card for violent conduct.
I don't like talking about this one because, yes, it is a red card offense, but Shea Salinas has been such a good citizen over this league in 10 years, known as one of the good guys. I feel bad calling him out for the red card, even though it was.
Let's go to Galaxy, Minnesota. Baldomero Toledo is the referee, and Rosendo Mendoza is the VAR. It's the 84th minute of a 2-1 game that the Galaxy lead, and there's the goal for Minnesota United. The flag stays down, the referee chats with his VAR, but he doesn't go to the screen to review, and I think he should have because Abu Danladi, to me, looks offside on this play.
Andrew, my eyes agree with you. When I look at that, he looks offside, but we have to take into account the fallible nature of the angles. They aren't perfect, and as such, my gut just can't say that it's clear and obvious when it's not clear and obvious. As I say over and over, I want the tie to go to the attacker.
You're right, probably not clear and obvious, and I don't think this one in the 96th minute is clear and obvious either. Zlatan Ibrahimovic goes down in the box under pressure from Miguel Ibarra. No call, Galaxy aren't happy. What do you think? Should this have been a PK?
This is another gut one for me because there is contact is made and they are going full speed, and I don't blame Zlatan for falling over, but when you watch it, it just looks soft, doesn't it? It doesn't feel like a foul, so for me, it was the right call on the field.
Yeah, I just don't think there's the footage here to identify a clear or obvious error, so good call, no PK stands. We're staying in LA for LAFC Sporting Kansas City. Ismail Elfath is the referee, and the 14th minute comes with a possible handball. Aiko Para slides to block this shot by Aaron Kovar, and look, the ball hits his arm, but is it a handball?
When we look at a handball when the defender is going to block a cross or a shot, we have to look at whether the hand is in a natural position or whether the hand is being used to make the body bigger. And on this one, it appears to me that Opara's hand is in a normal position and not attempting to spread his body. So for me, the right call on the field.
Never a handball, man. He blocked the shot, the ball bounced up. As you said, a natural position for this slide. Good call by Elfath on this one. 64th minute, he had another decision to make because Dejan Jakovic kicks Felipe Gutierrez in the face. A PK is called. They stick with that call. It makes it 2-0 Sporting Kansas City. But I'm not so sure this should have been a foul. I think Jakovic got the ball, which he had a right to play. It's high, and Felipe stoops a little bit, but he gets the ball first.
Yeah, I didn't like this call. Look at the ball. It moves. Jakovic definitely gets the ball on this one. And at the professional level, we don't usually see high boo called. It's about whether you get the ball or you don't. So for me, this was the wrong call.
Man, I'm out of breath. My pulse is flying. What a show.
Andrew's got to go do fitness, but everyone, thank you for sending your tweets to the hashtag Instant Replay. We check them every week and we appreciate it.
We'll see you next time.